Alright. Hey everyone, get ready with me. It was one my friend invited me to. So she's going now. And I'm going later. Oh. Okay. I put these in overnight. But if it doesn't end up looking cute, I have time to change it. I saw it on TikTok and I bought them from Amazon, these heatless curls. The way I thought I'd be taking this down, like, really pretty. There we go. Your hair, to be fair, I don't know if this will look nice because my hair is long, much like longer than as in with the extensions, so I don't know. Hi everyone, for the rest of the video I'm going to be talking about animes and cartoons I've been watching recently. It's cute, just giving natural body wave. I like how, yeah, it's just giving like natural body wave. The top is my concern. Alright, so like currently I'm watching Invincible. That's like one of the things I've been watching recently. I've been watching it weekly. And oh my goodness, this show never fails to like surprise me and like shock me. Like, oh my gosh, where do I begin? Poor Mark, like poor Mark. He has too much on his plate. Like basically raising his younger brother alongside his mother. Even though technically he's a brother, but in the sense he's now become a father figure to his younger brother as well. And then trying to balance like being a good guy and like what does it mean to be a good guy? Guys, do good guys kill? Do like good guys just protect? Like he's trying to understand as a hero what it means for him to be a hero, and it's deep. Like right now he's obviously started going out with his new girlfriend Eve. Spoiler alert, guys, if you're not caught up to the show, but they're going out now, which is like, you know, it's good for him to have someone who understands, I suppose, the whole thing about superheroes. But his situation is still, like, really hard. Like, it's still something hard on him mentally, like, and it affects him physically. Like, he looks stressed. And I feel like the topic of this season particularly focuses on, like, what it means to be a good guy and, like, do good guys kill? Because ultimately, if you don't kill the bad guys, there's a chance, I guess, that they're gonna come back and do the wrong thing again. So should they be killed and once and for all, or should they be given a second chance? For example, the parallels between his younger brother and the conversation he had with him, and then the conversations he had with Cecil. So with Cecil, I mean, he has every right to be mad because of the Dark Knight, I think it was his name, like what he did and what he's done to people. He has every right to be mad at that and, you know, upset because it affected someone in his life personally. And he told Cecil that he doesn't deserve to have a second chance and that he shouldn't be out here, you know, trying to save people because of what he did. Granted, Mark did not say he should die, but he did like basically pretend that he should not have like a second chance. He basically was saying he shouldn't have a second chance and he should just be in jail, period. But then I forget the twins' names. I'm sorry, or the clones' names. I forgot. But another spoiler alert is when Mark's brother ends up killing the clones, the blue clones. The brother explained to him why can't they just die, because they're constantly always coming back out to do bad anyways. And I think he's struggling to balance and understand like who deserves to have a second chance, who doesn't deserve it. And this even correlates back to him and his own dad, where, Cecil gave his dad a chance, and then he ended up being a really terrible guy. And obviously Cecil doesn't want to make the same mistake, even though Mark hasn't shown himself to be the good guy. In the same way Omni-Man would show himself to be the good guy for how many years? For 20 years, and look what he did. So I understand Cecil's apprehension about these things, especially because Cecil is really purely just human. So what, he feels for the people. And the most recent episode talks about like the aftermath of like, killing somebody or somebody dying in the aftermath of everyone else being saved. Even though Mark did not kill any of these people, like his face was literally being like pushed into these people. He did not want that by his own father. It still affected these people, and that created the villain that we know, and I think we're going to continue seeing more of today. Yeah, and that introduces people like Powerplex, as a result. People who unfortunately get caught up in the aftermath, or whose family and friends get caught up in the aftermath. Like, what is there to, like what compensation is done for them? And it's like, I think someone I saw mention it on Instagram or on TikTok, where it kind of reminded me of Civil War with the Avengers. Like, how do you answer to these things, and how do you compensate to these things? And it's even crazier because all Mark could say was he was sorry, because he doesn't. This is something the first time he's dealing with this stuff. He probably thought that, like, when he became a superhero, his dad would be able to explain to him how to deal with this stuff. But lo and behold, his own father was, the ultimate villain, at least of season 1. And so now he has to navigate this pretty much on his own. Because although Cecil could be someone who could help him navigate that, I feel like it's a really tricky balance between, like, trusting Cecil and not, because as much as Cecil has the human's best interest at heart, and that is important, very important, you also have to have someone who has your interest at heart as well. And with Mark being half Viltrumite, Cecil will never fully have his best interest at heart. And this most recent episode made me start to understand Oliver. Because honestly, Oliver, I was giving this child the biggest side eye. But now I understand why he is the way he is. So Oliver was there saying, like, he basically said how he can remember his dad and his memories with his dad. Because I thought this child as a baby, he, like, obviously, he keeps talking so high and mighty about Omni-Man. I was like, it doesn't make any sense. But now it does. He talks high and mighty about him because he literally remembers. Even though he was an infant, he remembers the good moments with his dad. And he remembers them clearly because of his the race he belongs to. They have good memory, I suppose. And because of that, he remembers the good that Omni-Man did, and he never got to see the bad that Mark talks about. He only gets to hear about it. So that kind of perspective is so weird for him, like, which is probably why he views him so highly. Whereas if he had been in a similar situation as Mark, maybe he wouldn't see him that way. But because he only ever saw the good and hears the bad, it's a tricky thing. And he even asked Mark a really important question that we're all asking ourselves this season. Does Omni-Man deserve forgiveness? Can he atone for the sins he's caused? Will Earth, or even us as the audience, because I feel like that wasn't just a question for the Earth people in Invincible, but that was a question for us. Should Omni-Man be forgiven? If he atones for his actions, should he be forgiven? And it's crazy to think about because, I cussed this man out 10 times after what he did, especially because of Mark's mom. Like, I talk about her to my siblings and to my friends all the time. Like, poor Mark's mother, like, she's so, like, amazing. She should not have gone through that. Like, she being called a pet. I threw up the towel when he said that. I said, this man, But yeah, like, it's a question, because now that he's, it seems like he's going in the right direction, especially from what we saw from a bit of season 2, and then up till now from basically when we discovered that he was in that other planet with Oliver's mother, and then obviously right now where he's with Alan, and like, he's even saved Alan. Spoiler alert again, he saved Alan, which is a massive fan favorite. At least he's definitely one of my favorites. he saved him. And even Alan is saying stuff that's like, you can forgive yourself. And it's like, it's tricky, especially when it comes from a character like Alan, like, who has such a weird perspective on things too. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like the overarching theme of just like forgiveness, and then on top of that, like who deserves the forgiveness, who doesn't deserve the forgiveness, who deserves to atone for their actions, who doesn't. Are villains, do villains stay villains? And it's like the easy answer would be no, forgive everyone, give them a chance to atone for their actions, and make nice. But when it comes to what they've done, is that still like, whew, it's so hard to know. And I feel like, of course, situation and circumstance also apply. Like, was it something more personal? But even still, guys, I don't know, man. This show makes you think. It does. It really does. So currently there are 6 episodes out. I've watched in season 3 I've caught up to episode 6. This week, episode 7 comes out, and then next week is the final episode of season 3. So let's see where the story ends in that. I wonder if they answer those questions of how do we forgive, and who do we forgive, and how do we atone for our actions. And, I wonder if that gets answered this season, or if it's just something that's just going to be kind of sprinkled throughout the whole story, and like we come to an answer or our own conclusions. It's just, it's a difficult topic, a very gray area topic, I think. So yeah, I mean, what other shows have I been watching? I mean, I've been watching some anime too. I think I've just started or restarted watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The first time I watched it was during lockdown, and I can't lie, this anime is too good. Like, whew, so good. I'm also watching currently, like that's like actively being released right now, is Dr. Stone and Apothecary Diaries. It's a really good romance anime. Yeah, let me get into Apothecary Diaries for this last couple of minutes. But even though it's like a romance anime, romance is like not the overall only arching like theme of the show. The show has to do with like a lot of it's a historical drama slash romance, but I wouldn't say obviously all of it is like historically accurate, but I can tell that the creator of the show definitely did research, and they tried to apply as much knowledge as they could, obviously built around their story as well in the anime, which is quite interesting. Like certain things being the obvious of like women were not allowed to practice medicine in those times, and so the main character Mao Mao practicing being an apothecary or practicing medicine in any type of way is actually technically illegal, and she can be killed for it. But it's like just things like that make it interesting, even though it's an anime, and like they definitely go against the grail of what should happen. It's good. By against the grail, I mean like stuff that like wouldn't have happened historically unless someone has like a diary count from those times in ancient China. But yeah, that's what I mean. The video is nearly done now, so there's not much else I can say about it until next time. But I will say I love this anime down. Mao Mao, she's like one of my new favorite like anime characters period ever. She is amazing. I love all the characters in the show. I love the messiness, the drama, the investigation. I like the research that's been done for the show, obviously. 10/10/10/10. Anyways, this is the outfit I wore to chill with my friend. Just basic, nothing else. And that's it. Bye. Like and subscribe.